All right, we are getting ready to roll here with our Zoom at noon. So I'm just asking everyone to be patient here for a second, and we'll wait for some folks to log on. I see some participants joining us, so thank you again for coming on board today. My name is Katie Chuba. I am the Executive Director at the Hartland Area Chamber of Commerce, and every Tuesday and Thursday we do Zooms at noon with area leaders and community organizations and industry experts that will help businesses and our community stay in touch kind of what's going on through this entire COVID-19 pandemic. And as we work to reopen, it's an exciting time for us as governor's orders as of yesterday, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But right now, I'm just going to ask for your patience because we're going to try to go live on Facebook today. So maybe we'll capture a little bit more of an audience. So I'm not really that great at multitasking here, so I appreciate your patience. And I think I can tag the library. Today we're here with the Cromaine District Library Director and staff, and I'll introduce them in just a second here. So let's see if we can go Facebook Live. I'm actually excited to go Facebook Live. So, well, let's do some introductions today. Those of you that are listening, if you have questions as we go on for the next 50 minutes or so, just type them in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and at the end we'll facilitate those questions and try to answer your questions about the library and what they're doing for our community and how they're adapting to this virtual world and so on and so forth. So, okay, we are Facebook Live. So first I'm going to introduce Mallorie DeVilbiss, and I hope I said that correct.
Yes, you did. Hi.
Hi, Mallorie. Mallorie is our new director. And how long have you been on the job so far, Mallorie?
I started at the end of January, and I have actually now been the director from home longer than I have been the director in the library.
Well, look at that. And you're adapting quite well, so good job. I'm trying to, I know I'm kind of stalling here. I apologize. Here we go. I'm tagging the library right now. So, okay, and next we have Marta-Kate Jackson, and she is the Youth Services Manager at Cromaine. Hi, Marta.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Good, thank you so much. And then we also have with us Glenn Fischer, who is the library's Technology Manager. Hi, Glenn. How are you? You're on mute, buddy, just so you know. You got to unmute yourself to say hello. Or I can unmute you.
You would think that the technology manager would know that.
Hey,
but
what do I know? What do I know? I'm just
kidding. I've been in meetings all day long, and so I've been trying to mute myself. Nice to meet you all. Nice to see you here. Excited to talk about what we're offering online.
Awesome. Thank you, Glenn. And last but not least, Pam Holtz. And Pam is the new Community Relations Manager at the library, newly hired, working virtually. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. It's good to be here.
Awesome. So without further ado, I know you're all probably tuning in kind of wondering what's happening at our library. As you know, Cromaine Library is a community staple in our community. They offer many programs for families, adults. I'm sure I'm kind of raining on your parade, Mallorie, so I'm going to turn it over to you, and thank you again for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much again, Katie, for inviting us. And it turns out that being here today is pretty much perfect timing because, as I'm sure we've all seen, the governor had a very exciting announcement yesterday rescinding her safer at home order. So that allows us to have staff back in the building, which is very, very exciting. And it allows libraries to start to reopen starting next week, which is what we've all been waiting for. So we are here today to tell you a little bit about what reopening is going to look like for the library, as well as the services that you can currently still access online from home, and then what summer programming is going to look like for us. So I wanted to start off by giving you kind of the broad overview of reopening and what the library is going to look like this summer. So we are planning on a phased reopening, and now that we have the governor's new orders, we can get started on actually setting dates for that, which is really exciting. So our first phase of that reopening actually starts today with staff back in the building. The book drop is open. We are accepting returns, and it's going to take us some time to get ready for the next phase. We have over 3 months of magazines and newspapers that we need to process and add to our system, 3 months of books and other items that have come in or need to be ordered. We have over 10,000 items currently checked out to Cromaine patrons that we are waiting for those to fill up the book drops. And then of course, all the holds that we are ready to fill and get ready to get into people's hands. So that's going to be phase one. And in the next few days, we are going to be meeting as a team to determine exactly how long that phase is going to last. But then phase two is going to be very exciting. It's going to be a new service for the library. We're going to open for curbside pickup only to start. So kind of similar to, if you've done grocery store pickup, it'll be a similar service model where you can place your holds ahead of time. You can still call your favorite library staff member who knows what you love to read and ask us to pull things that we think you'll enjoy. And we'll get those all ready for you, checked out for you. And then you just pull up in our parking lot, give us a call, let us know you're there, and we will bring it right out to your car. So that's going to be that first phase of really reopening for us, just because we still need to make some changes to the building to be in compliance with the executive order. We need to keep staff and patrons distant from each other. And just thinking about every time you come into the library, pulling all those books off the shelf, all those points of touch contact that we need to figure out how to keep the library clean and safe for everybody before we can really swing those doors wide open and have people back in the building in any sort of real numbers. And then of course, I think we're still going to be seeing, we're going to be seeing those 10,000 items still coming back. We're going to be seeing that high volume of holds. We have over 400 holds right now sitting on the shelves waiting to be picked up. And that's not even counting the ones that we haven't been able to pull off yet and get ready for people. So we want to make sure that we can start to open safely while still getting items back out to people. So that's why we are starting with curbside. And I imagine that that's going to be something we're going to be offering for a long time to come for, convenience factor, and also as people really regain that confidence with coming into public spaces. So that's phase two, and keep an eye on our social media and other spaces for an announcement of the official date and procedures for that coming soon. But definitely start making those wish lists for items that you've been wanting from the library, and we'll have them ready for you as soon as we can. And then phase three is going to be when we actually reopen our doors. The library is going to look a little different than you might be used to. We are going to have, those plexiglass shields to protect our staff and protect the patrons. Masks are going to be required, and we're probably going to be rearranging some furniture to allow for social distancing within the library. We have a historic building and a kind of tight quarters at times. So we want to make sure that our library is still really usable while keeping everybody safe and allowing them to keep that distance from each other while they're in the building. And we really don't have a date for at this point, but we're going to be keeping an eye on any future updates from the governor about what kind of restrictions we're going to be operating under. Currently, if we opened our doors on June 8th, we would only be able to have a 25% capacity in the building. So that's probably going to play a big part in when we decide to open our doors as well and let the public in, because we don't want to say that only dad can come in, mom's got to stay outside with the kids or anything like that. We want to be able to really welcome people back into the library and have it be a usable space without putting those kinds of restrictions that are going to make it less comfortable or less usable for people. So that's phase 3. We'll be able to open our doors again, and then phase 4, sometime in the future, we'll be back to normal. We'll be back to hosting programs in the building, having meeting rooms available for larger gatherings and things along that line. So that is kind of our trajectory for right now of what we're planning on. But again, definitely, if you aren't already signed up for our e-newsletter, reach out to us. We'll get you signed up, and that's going to be really probably your best source of information of when we're taking it from one phase to another. And also make sure to follow us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be sharing lots in the weeks to come of what it looks like behind the scenes right now, getting everything ready for reopening, as well as those procedures for curbside pickup once we're able to take it there. So with that kind of broad overview, I'm going to let my fabulous managers take it from here and give us some of the more fine details of what the library is offering right now. So Glenn, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Mallory. Look, I remembered to unmute myself. So I'd like to just quickly cover some of the digital service offerings that we provide and are continuing to provide during this time. Just before the COVID-19 lockdown happened, we added a new streaming video product to our service offerings through RB Digital. So all of these services are included with that one service. So you just put an app on your mobile device, or you can log into their website and you get access to all of these things, including Acorn TV. So if you love British TV, this is for you. It's streaming video that you can watch all of the episodes of a particular show. It's meant to be bingeable, and you get a pass for 7 days of watching. And you can watch as much as you want during that 7 days. And then after that, you just renew the pass. There's no cost to you. So enjoy it. It's so good. In a similar way, there's another channel that works the same way. It's called IndieFlix. And that includes independent films and classic TV. So if you've been missing the Roy Rogers show in the original black and white, the Frank Sinatra show, Bonanza, Dragnet, all those classic TV shows, they're on IndieFlix, and you can find them there, in addition to incredible documentaries and independent films. There's also the Great Courses. Now is a fantastic time to learn. And the Great Courses do an exceptionally good job of teaching you some really good skills. And those are included with RB Digital's streaming video product. A couple of the classes that I've seen in there that struck my fancy are genealogy. There's a whole course about genealogy and infectious diseases. So you can learn a little bit more about how this is all developing. And also, during this time, a lot of music artists had to cancel their performances, and that bummed out a lot of people because you want to go to these concerts. Well, RB Digital has a channel for you. It's called Quello Concerts, and these are recorded concerts from thousands of artists. There are thousands of recorded concerts in there from some of your favorite artists across various genres of music. So I encourage you to browse through there and virtually enjoy this concert. The best part about those concerts is you're not watching it through somebody's cell phone standing in front of you trying to record it for their own purposes. You get the best seat in the house with Quello. RB Digital also includes e-magazines, electronic magazines, so you can safely read magazines on your device. They are extremely easy to use, and we have back issues for a year. in that service. Last thing that RB Digital offers is over 37,000 audiobooks that are always available to you. There are no holds, no waiting. Just check it out and start reading. It's a fantastic service, and they are all available in that one app or by logging into the RB Digital website through cromaine.org. The other thing that I've been using a lot with my younger nephews, I'm a very proud uncle, and we have been using BookFlix together. And BookFlix is by Scholastic. It is a service that is an ebook, basically an ebook read-along service. And they pair a fiction title and a nonfiction title together on a common theme. So if you wanted to know about horses, there's a book about horses, and then there's a book that is a story involving horses, and they complement each other very nicely. All you need is a web browser to view them, no special software. Some of the other things that have been very popular during this time is Ancestry. I'm very excited about us being able to offer this for the last 3 months. Ancestry is going to be available remotely to you to use until the end of June. Normally, Ancestry does not allow us to provide remote access. You have to be in the library, but they changed that policy, and right now it's until the end of June. So if it gets extended, we'll be sure to include that in our email newsletter. So keep an eye on that. And the usage on that, I just looked at stats, it's shot up incredibly high. So we're like off the charts. Amazing what you can do when you're at home researching your genealogy, your family history. Also, Universal Class is another product that has been very popular, and that's real classes with a human-led, they're human-led, there's a teacher involved, and they cover over 700 different topics, from academic stuff, tech skills, hosting, various parties. I've seen how to host a tea party on Universal Class. But there are lots of different things you can learn, and Universal Class will also, if you want, you can take the quizzes, do the homework, and if you get a 70% or above, you get continuing education credits that are internationally accredited. So it's a great way to professionally develop yourself during this time, or just learn something new. As always, we have Overdrive Libby available, and I've been buying stuff like crazy at the request of our patrons and our staff to make sure that we keep our collection diverse and hold times down on Overdrive. We have a lot of purchases there, and those purchases that I make for Cromaine are available to our Cromaine patrons. We get priority on those. And if they're not being used, other people in our consortium get access to that, but you guys come first. And so if you see in your Libby app, it says, oh, there's a long hold time, just go ahead and place that hold, because I probably bought us a copy and you'll get priority access to it. It's just an estimate. And the last part that I'll mention is Morningstar Investments, particularly now during this time when we need to think about our finances. Morningstar Investment has educational resources available for you, in addition to really high quality data about various financial items, stocks, funds, etc. So I encourage you to use that service, and you can use it from home. All you need is your library card from Cromaine. So that is all I have for you. If you have questions, I'm happy to take them. I see somebody says concerts are my life. Yes, I feel your pain. So with that, I'm done, and our next manager can take over. Thank you, Marta, for taking over.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn, so much. If I may just kind of interrupt here for a second. I wanted to see your t-shirt. So you have a heart with the mask on. Curious to know where you got that.
So this is a Mo Willems original. He's been doing these series of drawing exercises online for kids. It's and my nephew has been following those along and drawing. So I saw this online at outofprint.com, which has basically clothing for anybody who is a bibliophile like us here at Cromaine. And the proceeds from buying the shirt go to feed an organization that feeds the medical personnel battling COVID. So
I
that's
love
why.
it. I love it.
One
That's
of
a
my
perfect
friends-
shirt. You know,
Yeah,
Hartland, like, you know, I thought, oh, that's a great shirt to wear today.
Yeah, and I loved it. It's so cute. So
I love
anyhow.
it. Thank you. And thank you for the great information, Glenn. I know, you know, I think it's a matter of educating our community at all the great resources that the library offers. It's not just going and getting a book anymore. It's way more than that. So thank you for sharing all that information. And like you said, let's turn it over to Marta-Kate, the library's youth services manager. So thank you, Marta, for joining us. And what you got?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having us. So I'm going to give you an overview of our online summer reading challenge, as well as a bit of an overview of some of the virtual events that we have going on this summer. Because if you've been with us for years, as most of you have, you know that we love to offer programs and love to do a lot of things for the community. So we've got a lot of fun virtual stuff coming up. For our summer reading challenge, though, every year students suffer from what's called the summer slide, which is essentially the learning loss that happens between school years. So this summer, more than any other, I imagine that's going to be an even bigger impact than it usually would. So that's where our summer reading challenge has always come in. It interrupts the summer slide by promoting literacy, as well as giving students an opportunity to really practice their reading skills throughout the summer. So when it's time to go back to school, they're ready to get right into things. It just makes things a lot easier on them, makes things easier on their teachers too. And another major goal of our summer reading challenge is to really help kids develop a love of reading and a love of learning, which would benefit them their whole lives. As we all have learned in these last few months, if we didn't know beforehand, that you're always learning throughout life, even when you're done with school. So if we can help instill a little bit of love for that, for knowledge and for reading as well, all the better. And the way it actually works is you create a summer reading log on our website and record the number of minutes read, as well as we've got a lot of fun at-home challenges and activities for kids as well. And based on how much they read and how many challenges they complete, they get their name into grand prize drawings. And this year our grand prizes are gift cards to some of our fabulous local businesses. And we also have a program for adults as well as a separate program for the itty bitty ones. So for ages 5 and under, we actually have a downloadable activity sheet for the little ones with fun early literacy activities that you can do at home as a family this summer. So a little something for everybody to keep everyone reading and having fun. As well as for our virtual events, we have essentially converted a big number of the events we'd planned to do in person into virtual ones. So for example, we've got an online teen book club starting up. We have a virtual Dungeons and Dragons club for teens. We have a virtual Tail Wagging Tutors program, which is where a child can have a one-on-one video conference with a certified therapy dog and read to the dog. It's adorable. We also have a live presentation with award-winning children's author Lisa Wheeler coming up next week, as well as a concert from award-winning musician Jim Gill coming up in a couple weeks, as well as story times that our librarians have been recording. So we'll be releasing story times as well. And families can register for all of these things now. They're open and available on our event calendar online on our website. And we've got a lot of stuff for adults too. Can't forget about the adults in the community, of course. The one program that I was personally very disappointed that we had to delay the launch of was we're gonna have a new book Brews and Books book club, which was, I think it was supposed to happen at Hartland Brewing Company. So being a Michigan craft beverage fan myself, I was quite disappointed that that will be delayed, but I'm sure we'll bring that to you later this year. In the meantime, though, there's a virtual mystery book club, there's a virtual game night, there's technology help, lots of opportunities for you to still meet with Glenn to learn and to bone up on your technology skills, as well as take-home craft kits for adults as well, where you can register to get a kit with all the supplies for you to take home and do various things. For example, upcoming, let's see, in June, we've got, it's homemade, make your own foaming hand wash or hand soap. So you get a kit with all the supplies to do that. We also have a birch tree painting kit as well, so you can learn how to paint birch trees. So we give you all the paint, all the supplies, so you can pick up and send you a video as well, so you can watch the video and then do it at home. And we'll continue doing virtual programs probably for quite some time, certainly throughout the summer, as we fully expect, even when we can start seeing each other and getting together in person, there'll certainly be a lot of people that might not be comfortable with it, or especially those populations that are still going to remain somewhat vulnerable. So we kind of see virtual programs as just being a new add-on thing that we're probably just going to continue doing on even after this summer. Other than that, I have to give a shout out to the Hartland schools because I stole something from them that I didn't tell them about. Each week this summer, we've got a different theme. So next week is Imagination Week. The week after that is Community Connection Week, which I think we all need right now, some good community connection. And that week, we're going to be highlighting the Hartland Schools acronym EAGLES for empathy, achievement, grit, links, empowerment, and service. So each day that week we'll have different activities that help families foster those things so that they can do with their kids to foster those things. The week after that is Food Week. Our teen volunteers are putting together cooking videos that we'll be sharing. So just lots of fun stuff to bring to you throughout this summer to make the days a little bit more enjoyable, but also give you opportunities to continue connecting with not only us, but continue connecting with each other too, with the great people there in this community. And that's all I've got though. I know we've got, so Pam up next to tell us something a little bit about our summer concert series.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody, I have a couple of people asking, everyone's curious about the summer concert.
Save the best for last, Kate.
Yeah,
Save
of
the best
course.
for
We want
last.
everyone to tune in to listen to that. So,
Well,
so Pam, you're new.
Yes.
Welcome. Yes, welcome to the library. I mean, I'm acting like I work there. Welcome to the library. Welcome to our community. Why don't you tell us first a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in this virtual position, and let us know what's going on with that summer concert series.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's, let's just say that transitioning to this whole new world in the midst of quarantine has been, it's been the most interesting experience of my working life. But I couldn't have possibly asked for a better team to help me transition into this new world. You know, we were kind of talking offline before we all started up, and I mean, truthfully, the people at Cromaine are just spectacular. My team is spectacular. So I'm thrilled to be here. I'm coming from Oakland University's William Beaumont School of Medicine, although I live in Howell. So let me just say that my commute right now is a dream in comparison to what I had before. But I worked with the parent program at the School of Medicine as well as alumni relations, and I managed all of the events, all of the community relations, and everything was geared towards how we translate the relationships into philanthropic giving for the school. So prior to that, I was in the nonprofit world. Most notably, I worked at Make-A-Wish, Michigan in Brighton, so right around the corner from here. So it's just such a dream to be at the library. And here we are starting off with the summer concert series. It's a very busy time of year to be kicking off my job, but I love it. I love being busy. So in terms of the summer concerts, we will be running these concerts still. Yay! Starting on Tuesday, June 30th, and then running on Tuesdays through August 4th. The concerts take place at 7 p.m. Before I get into kind of logistics and things like that, let me just give some shout outs to the bands that we're going to be featuring. So June 30th will be a band Toppermost. They're a Beatles tribute band. July 7th, Just Around the Corner, which is bluegrass gospel folk. I'm very excited. July 14th, Surf's Up, which is beach music. Shocking. July 21st, the George Brothers, which is 70s, 80s, and 90s rock. July 28th, Smokin' 45s. We're looking at 50s and 60s blues rock with that. And then August 4th, Outer Vibe, which is alternative contemporary. So we have a great lineup, a very diverse group of music and things like that. So something for everybody. The plan is, as of yesterday's executive order, because that's just the name of the game right now, is just being comfortable and fluid with transition and change. We are hoping to bring June 30th to you guys virtually. So we're working on finding a venue to assist us with that. Prior to yesterday, the thinking was that we would be hosting it off-site, because if we hosted it on the lawn at the library, we were a little concerned about encouraging people to come and view the concert in large groups, and we wanted to make sure that our community is safe and healthy. We also could not host it in our music hall because our music hall does not have internet right now. So that might be something we look into in the future. We're still working on that. So we're looking into hosting it at an offsite location to be determined, but then streaming it live on every platform that we possibly can. More than likely it'll be YouTube, and then we'll be linking it to our social media feeds. Given the nature of the executive order yesterday, that might change, it might not. So as other people have alluded to, stay tuned, make sure that you're looking at our social media accounts, all of them. And if you are not signed up for our email distribution as of yet, please do that. And we will keep you posted on that one specifically. As for the concerts July through August, we are hoping to host those still in person. So as of yesterday, I received the approval of the permit application from Hartland, and we are going to be moving forward with reaching out to Hartland Fire Department to see if they can maybe come and assist us with gridding out our south lawn a little bit to encourage people to sit and social distance. You know, I envision, you know, we got to see what works for everybody, but the circles so whole families can sit together. It's not, you know, a 2-year-old in one square and mom in another square, finding some way where we can be together reasonably. And we are also going to have appropriate signage encouraging people to social distance, as well as encouraging people to wear masks if and when necessary. And then we are still planning on having the food trucks there for dinner. We're working with our vendors right now to make everything as grab and go as possible. So as little contact points as possible. The more pre-packaged, the better, where we can pay, you can pick it up and you can go to your little sphere with your family and enjoy your meal and enjoy the music. So at this time, pending anything else changing, which is the name of the game right now, this is what we're planning on and what we're moving forward with. We are very excited to come together, not just virtually, but really come together as a community, even if it is, you know, socially distanced apart. And what better way to do that than with the joy of music. So we hope that you'll come out. We hope that you'll tune in when we do go virtual. And we're happy to answer any questions that you may have. You're more than welcome to reach out to me at any time if you have anything specific you'd like to ask. And that's about it for me, for now.
Awesome. Thank you, Pam. I love your energy. Like, it's such good energy for that position. Like, I think, you know, I can see you're very excited and passionate and ready to rock and roll. So we're going to get along just fine. So
I agree. I'm excited to work with you more.
Thank you. Me too. So those of you that are listening, either live on the webinar or live on Facebook, if you have any questions for any of the library staff or want to find out more information, you can type in a question on Facebook or, you know, on the webinar platform. So I was hoping to have a little bit more conversation with you guys too. I guess one of my question is have you, I mean, we all think about the reopening process, and it sounds like you have a plan with your different phases, Mallorie. as a community person, when I can walk into the library, right now, I'm sure you don't have like that solid plan yet because we're all in that, and I hate to assume, but if I were to walk into the library in that phase 3 or 4 that you have planned for the library, what can I expect? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to look a little different than the library as it was before we closed. We're looking at rearranging some furniture to make sure that people can keep their distance from each other. You know, we might look into having appointments for time on the computers because those are really close together so that we can keep the number of people waiting for computers down and make sure that you can come in and do what you need and get on with your day without, you know, having to wait inside. We are also making some changes or hoping to make some changes to our bathrooms because of course those are a super high touch area where people are touching lots of things. So we already have installed the paper towel dispensers that you just have to, the motion sensing ones to put your hands under and get your paper towel. We're looking into the motion sensing faucets, which are shockingly expensive. They're one of those things that you never even think about how much they might cost until you have to look into buying them. But luckily, the Library of Michigan has some grants available for us to make changes to our building. So that's an avenue that we're looking into for that. We're going to have those plexiglass shields in between staff and patrons at checkout points. And you're probably going to see us walking around with, you know, spray bottles and Lysol wipes a lot more than we currently do, making sure that we're keeping things, you know, like the bathrooms or the self-checkouts, the stair rails, all those things that we don't really think about touching throughout the day, making sure that we're keeping them clean for our patrons. We also have lots of disposable masks on hand for anyone that may need one when you come in the building and don't have your own. So we'll have those ready for you as well. But it's one of those things that I think we're really going to see evolve just as we get staff back in the building, you know, and think about our own workflows and, you know, what we do touch throughout the day or kind of the best avenues to take throughout the building to make sure that everybody can move about in a safe and healthy way.
Yeah, and you know, I think about, you know, you talk about touch points and things like that. You know, I think about books. Like books are so, and kids, you know,
Yeah,
like how do
so
you
for
stop kids from touching every single book on the bookshelf, right?
Exactly.
So I know you
so
have.
that's actually another good point. Books right now we're planning on quarantining for 24 hours, and the ones with plastic jackets are really easy for us to wipe down the outside and disinfect that. And you know, currently the recommendation from the CDC and the Institute for Museum and Library Services is the 24-hour quarantine as far as how long the virus can live on paper. So that's our plan for that. And then, yeah, for kids, you know, that area is definitely going to look different. Even before we cleaned, we had taken away, you know, the puppets and the toys and things that we know are a big draw, but they're impossible to clean and keep out of mouths or noses or anywhere else that they really shouldn't be. So that's going to look a little different for a while too, for sure.
Okay, awesome. You know, I was thinking about, I know you guys do a lot of programming, inviting children and adults and families to the library to do these various programming. I mean, it's beautiful weather out, right? We have the next 3 months are going to be gorgeous out. Are there plans to do some maybe thinking outside the box or special programming outside of the library on the library lawn, or maybe do some interesting programs that way?
Marta, I see you nodding. I'll let you answer.
Yeah. No, we definitely are. We actually have some ideas possibly in the works for later in July, maybe. Definitely using the South Lawn. But we're hoping right now. I mean, for sure, in August we'll be doing a drive-in movie again. Love those every year. But yes, fortunately, we do have our nice outdoor lawn space. So as things progress in the next few weeks, I anticipate that we'll probably start. We already have some ideas for things we can do outdoors. So yeah, I would expect by the end of the summer you'll definitely see some things.
Awesome. Awesome, thank you. So Kevin Brennan, who has a business in the village, is tuned into Facebook, and I wanted to read his comment. Let's close the streets in the village and have a big socially distanced reunion downtown. Thanks, Kevin. I like that. He's all about the village, so that doesn't surprise me that he said a comment like that. So that was funny.
With some of our concerts, we might accidentally end up closing the streets.
Yeah, you might get a big draw this summer. People are itching to get out. It's
Sure.
interesting. Some of the businesses that I've talked to, golf is crazy. People are so itching to go golfing and get outdoors and do those kind of things. So, yeah. I mean, my daughter's birthday is August 4th, and I'm like, maybe we could just have a little party on the lawn at the library for the concert. So my brain's churning. So, yeah. Oh, we have a question coming in. Let me see what's going on. So if anyone has any questions, just let us know. So here's a question. What will happen when adults read 5 books in order to get our slips in for the prize buckets? I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, that makes sense to me. I know exactly what that is.
Okay.
For those of you who have participated in the summer reading challenge in the past, we typically had buckets so that for adults, if you read 5 books, you would get a ticket you could put into the bucket of your choice. We're just changing that up a little bit. We don't have the buckets. Your name is actually automatically going to be entered into the grand prize drawings. And when you register, you can rank the order in which, or rank the prizes in order which ones you like the best. So if your name is pulled, we can try to give you a prize that you would be most excited to get. Yes, we were disappointed to have to do it with our prize buckets this year because they're a big draw to not only the adults, but the kids love them too, being able to get their little tickets and putting them in the bucket. So we've got a safe way to do it and hopefully still have fun with it.
How fun. I love it. Well, I'm glad it sounds like you guys are, I mean, we all are, right? You're adapting to a kind of a new way of doing things, you know? And I'd like to take this time too to share with our audience some of the things here that the chamber is doing. But before I do that, we have another question that came in. I saw an ad for Project Play recently. Is there anything in the works with this grant?
Yes.
With a grant?
So I'll start and then I'll hand it over to Marta again for specifics.
Okay.
We last year did receive a grant related to Project Play, and we were getting ready to launch our sport port. So if you've seen that pod in our parking lot and ever wondered what it was, it is full of sporting equipment that is basically ready to be circulated. And we were supposed to launch that in early May. That's something that it has definitely been an item for discussion because books are easy to or fairly easy to quarantine and disinfect when we get it back, but sporting equipment is a little different. So we've been trying to think about how we can get that out, especially as the weather gets so nice, to get that circulated out to our patrons and encourage that outdoor play. But I don't know, Marta, if you have anything to add on what you guys have been talking about.
No, that's pretty much it for the time being. We are hoping to start lending out sports equipment in the near future, hopefully this summer at some point. But we'll also be doing hopefully a little bit of programming as well involving the sports equipment. For example, we actually just met with the YMCA of Detroit yesterday to talk about bringing their mobile sports van out to lead activities for kids outside. So we've got stuff in the works that we're hoping to roll out later in the summer.
Awesome. All good stuff, right? You know, are there any other things that, you know, I ask other businesses this too. Is there anything that you're doing kind of really creatively or outside of the box that are working or that you think are going to work? And the reason I ask that is because the more tips and tricks we share with each other, right, the more successful or the better we can really take a look at what we're doing and revive those processes or those procedures, if you will. So when we are full blown out open, all that work we've done really is in place and will work well for us. So is there anything else that you think is kind of a creative thing that you've done or what you'd like to share?
I would say that we've been, and I'll let you have it, Glenn. But I've been trying, obviously it's been a tough 3 months, and so much has had to change in every aspect of our lives. So I think we've really been trying to look at this as, in some ways an opportunity. These virtual programs, we're able to share things that we wouldn't normally be able to share in the library. Some of our presenters doing things from home. We have a beekeeper that was supposed to be coming into the library and doing a presentation, but is now recording a presentation, and we'll actually get to see the bees and see their setup. And so it's in some ways, we are getting things out of this that we wouldn't have been able to offer in the library. Of course, we miss those in-person programs and being able to gather and connect. But we've really been trying our best to look on the bright side and think of the opportunities that this has given us instead of the ways that it's hindering us. And Glenn, I'll let you add.
I just wanted to mention that when you go to library school and you go to get your your master's degree, they don't teach you how to do virtual programming. So this has been a major pivot for all of our staff. And every single one of them, if you go look at our YouTube channel and see some of the other videos and the projects that they've brought online with very little training, very little time, they've managed to still deliver an incredible amount of value to the community. And I'm super proud of how quickly they've pivoted, and without calling me every 2 minutes with questions about how do I.
Just every 5 minutes. It hasn't been every 2 minutes. We try to wait 5 minutes.
I think your average right now is like 5 to 7. But yeah, I'm super impressed with how they've done it, and they've come up with some creative ideas. I've learned which staff members here can sing really well, and it's been a really interesting showcase of how flexible and creative our staff here at Cromaine is. I also think it's really interesting to see how this situation has changed people's relationship to the library. Now we're getting more people using our digital resources and discovering some really incredible stuff they would never have seen before if they weren't pushed to go look at it. Even though these are unfortunate circumstances, there is some good coming out of it. And I think people are rediscovering the value that we can provide because they've got time at home with their kids and family or just by themselves to actually reflect and take a look at it. So yeah, it's an interesting time, and I'm just really proud of how my coworkers have met the challenge. And this sport port is another example of how you're going to see them meet the challenge.
Awesome. Thank you, Glenn. You said that very well. The rediscovering and look at it as an opportunity. We all have to, kind of look at this time as opportunity. So, kind of like our Zooms at noon, So we are Facebook Live right now. So I wanted to share with everyone that here at the Chamber, we're working on collaborating with some other partners to do some Facebook Lives throughout our community to help area businesses and to communicate with the community, whether it's through our individual sites or maybe Hartland Living, and go visit some community organizations and businesses and talk to them about their opening strategy and kind of what's going on so we can fill everybody in. So just working together. We talk a lot about partners in progress. It's so important that we all communicate and work together to make sure that we portray the right message to everyone in the community. So make sure you tune into Hartland Living, make sure you tune into the Cromaine site. Again, Glenn talked about all the wonderful resources and things to do. And of course the Chamber's here as well. So if no one has any questions, or does anyone have any last comments?
I just wanted to reiterate that, even even in this time until, we're able to open our doors or open curbside, we're still here for anybody that has a question, that wants a book recommendation, that needs help using any of our resources. We're very much still here and working hard to make sure that we are offering the best service that we possibly can. So, give us a call. If you leave us a voicemail, it goes to our email, so we'll be able to get back to you. You can shoot an email to either adult@cromaine.org or youth@cromaine.org if you have any questions about their programs, or again, recommendations of activities for your family at home, or early literacy tips. Whatever you might need support with right now, we are very much here for you. And we can't wait to see everybody back in the library soon.
Yay. Can't wait to see everybody, period. Well, it was so good seeing you all. Thank you again for joining my Zoom at noon. So at the chamber here, every Tuesday and Thursday, we're doing Zooms at noon. Well, almost every Tuesday and Thursday. We're really trying hard to do every Tuesday and Thursday. This Thursday, oh gee, I'm having a blank here. Hang on one second. It's been a long weekend and week, so I wanted to share what do I got going on June 4th? One day at a time here. This coming up Thursday, I have Mr. Dan Callan with he's the leader of the Remax Platinum Team Callan. He's going to talk with me. We're going to have good discussion about the home and commercial real estate market. What's going on, what to expect. Lots of interesting stuff going on in that industry. So if you can tune in this Thursday, you can register on our website, or if you get our newsletter, it was in our newsletter. So thank you again, Cromaine, everybody, for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. And with that, I think we're good. I'm going to sign off for the day. Well, not for the day, but for the Zoom at noon. And make sure you check out cromaine.org.
Thank you, Katie.
All right, good talking to all you guys. Thank you for the great information. Everyone have
thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Enjoy the sunshine. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.